Alavina Sab says given English is not her first language, she was confused. She eventually understood and told them there was no safe. But not believing her, they took her into her closet, which had already been ransacked. Then down to the main floor and to the garage, looking for a safe. The chaos all captured on video surveillance.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I did want to talk about something and bring attention to something that is happening in my local area. It is happening across Canada, but it's largely an Ontario thing, largely a Toronto thing. I live an hour away from Toronto, so it does affect the surrounding area, and unfortunately this issue has spread out to smaller towns and also rural communities as well. Home invasions. Home invasions are a massive issue in Canada right now, specifically Ontario. Yeah, basically ever since you know, the wave of gun bans, the banning of handguns, and then largely York Regional Police. And we're going to start off with this video here. I got 3 videos I want to show you guys here today, just talking on this issue, bringing attention to it, kind of thing, just how bad of a problem that it actually is. And again, I want to say this right now, be glad you guys are Americans. You guys have the right to self-defense over there. You guys actually have a concrete right to defend yourselves. Here in Canada, it's much more sketchy. It's much more gray zone. You have to use what's called quote unquote equivalent force. What the fuck is equivalent force to somebody who's breaking in your home? You don't know what they have on them. Well, that's up for the police to decide, but most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, I want to say, largely if you kill somebody in the defense of your property, in the defense of your family, you're going to be getting charged with it, whether it be manslaughter, 2nd-degree murder, whatever have you. You're going to catch a charge. Now, will you actually get, you know, convicted for it? Maybe not, but you are going to get charged regardless. It's not like there's a fucking contest about that. That's absolutely going to happen. It happens every single time that I've seen. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start off here today with police chief urges to comply with home invaders. This is basically what started this large wave of home invasions in the Toronto area. York Regional, York is a district in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the police chief essentially telling potential victims to comply with home invaders. So let's take a look at this. Let's see what he has to say. This is, again, this came out, I want to say, 8 months ago, 10 months ago, something like that, maybe a little bit longer. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on the time frame. I know this specific video was uploaded 2 months ago, but it came out before then. But either way, let's check it out. Let's see what he has to say. And I want to give you guys an idea of like the mentality, the victim mentality that's going on here in Canada, right? Because again, like a lot of Americans, like I'll try to explain this to Americans and it's fucking like sickening. It's like something you guys can't wrap your brain around. Now, me, myself, personally, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around as well. But, you know, again, this is the large portion of the Canadian population. Let's take a listen.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive and be the best witness possible. This could mean locking yourself in a room away from the perpetrators, hiding, fleeing the home, but don't engage unless absolutely necessary. My advice is to rely on our police service, call 911 immediately, and let us take it from there.
Wow.
We see more often than not when people comply that you know, injuries are not happening and people are not victimized in terms of injury, or in this case, unfortunately, we've seen the loss of life in some of these incidents.
So basically what he's saying there, for those of you who didn't catch that, right? Essentially what he's saying is if somebody breaks into your home, give them what they want so they leave faster. Just give them what they want and police will come, they'll deal with it. Now, the police aren't going to come and deal with it. Let me be honest here. If they break into your home, they take shit from you, the police are not going to do anything about it. They're never going to get caught. Let's be like 100% clear about that right now. A large portion of criminals in Canada, especially to do with theft, home invasion, that type of thing, car theft, whatever have you, going completely unaccounted for. It's not in the budget. I don't know how else to fucking say. That's what it seems like, at least. Now, it largely depends on the police force of either the township or if it's OPP, whoever you're dealing with, right? But I've seen from local police, not OPP, but local police, I've seen some fucking horrendous work in the past, and that's that is what it is, right? But let's watch here. Now, this is just, I believe this is now just camera footage of a bunch of different break-ins to get that point across, and we're going to listen to a couple other videos after this. But let's just get this point across right here. Let's see how this looks. Let's just see how brazen this is. And a lot of these people, too, are armed. Citizens aren't allowed to be now. Keep that in mind. Look, he's got a pistol in his pocket. Immediately going for the camera. Couldn't get it off, so now he's just breaking the glass. You can see they got guns. And that's another thing, too, I have to say. So, for a country that is making handguns illegal and essentially banning firearms, as a criminal, it is so fucking easy to get an illegal gun with scratch serial numbers. That's the fucking thing. Like, that's what breaks me about, like, this country and a lot of the people in this country that don't seem to understand this, right? If somebody wants to do you harm, they can get a firearm so fucking easily here. The US is right there. People are bringing shit across the border all the fucking time, and our government doesn't seem to want to crack down on border security. That's just what it is. That's the reality of the situation. Now, that's not what I wish for, right? I wish we had stronger border security. I wish we always have. For the past 10 years, the liberals have done nothing but lighten it, right? So let's just be completely honest here about what's going on, right? Like, it is what it is, but let's keep going. Now under Carney, they're trying to amp it up again because suddenly now it's an issue. Isn't that crazy? Only when they're under pressure. They just walk up and kick the door in, they're in. And once they're in, they got firearms. None of these citizens have firearms. Most of them aren't, especially if you're living in a city like this. It's just not a thing. And even if they don't have firearms, there's fucking 5 people rushing you, man. And if you kill any of them, God forbid, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it makes no sense to me. So that's the first video. I just wanted to get that across. Basically show the mentality of the police. Like, again, just lock yourself in a room, hide, you know, comply with them if they get you. Just give them what they want so they can leave. Okay? Yeah, you're never going to see your items again and no justice is going to be brought to you, but just give them what they want. Yeah, great idea. But that's the first video. Second video is, and I want to get this point across too, Ontario man charged after allegedly assaulting home intruder. Now, this came out 2 months ago. This has been hot on the news. Not just this incident, but many incidents like it lately. Because again, with the recent string of home invasions, you're getting a lot of citizens that are fighting back. And I think rightfully so. Why shouldn't they be fighting back? My family's in the house. My belongings, my possessions are in my house. I'll be damned if I'm just going to let somebody fucking take that. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't earn that. You have no right to any of that shit. And my family, again, I don't know what this person has entering my home. They could have a firearm. They could be unarmed. I don't know their intentions. I don't know if they're here to rob me, kill me. I don't know, right? I have zero idea. So the fact that you as a citizen can be charged for either killing a home invader or, in this case, assaulting them. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's a joke. You know what I mean? This is a joke country almost, is what it feels like in a sense there. Why, you know, like where is the fucking logic in that? Where is the logic? I really want to hear it from somebody because it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Let's watch.
Apartment on this street on Monday around 3 a.m. The apartment's resident woke up and responded with enough force that the intruder was airlifted to hospital in Toronto with what police call life-threatening injuries. The alleged intruder faces 4 charges, including breaking and entering, possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. The resident is charged with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon, and that is prompting strong reaction.
No shit it is, right? So here you have an intruder who broke and entered and is in possession of a dangerous weapon. So right there, listen, I don't know his intention. Is he here to rob me? Is he here to kill me? Is he here to... What's he here to do? I have zero fucking idea. I see a guy with a baseball bat enter my home. I believe I should have every fucking right to kick his ass. And if he gets airlifted to hospital and dies, that's on him. That's his fucking responsibility. He chose to make that fuck up of a decision. That's not on me. I'm gonna sleep comfortably like a fucking baby that night. That's just the truth, right? So I really don't understand, like, this fucking victim mentality that a lot of Canadians seem to have. Stop having it. You know what I mean? Like, we need to fucking do something about this. This is insane. This is insanity that this is happening.
Did everyone hear about the story in Lindsay?
Ontario's premier weighs
Doug
in.
Ford here.
I know someone breaks
chirping
into
in.
my house or someone else's, you're going to fight for your life. This guy has a weapon. You're going to use any force you possibly can.
And listen, Doug Ford, he is, dude, he's one of those neocons. Like he only starts talking about issues like this when it starts affecting him. And again, little backstory. Yes, some intruders did try to fuck with him. Some home invaders did try to fuck with his house, one of his residents. So now suddenly it's a big issue for him, right? Funny how that works. It's only a problem when it happens to you, right? And again, this is a conservative MP, right? He's the leader of Ontario, right? But he's really not a conservative. Again, that's the thing. Ontario provincially always votes conservative. And yet our conservative leaders here in Ontario are, I don't know, lack of fucking backbone to say the least, at best of times.
But for your life, this guy has a weapon. You're going to use any force
No
you
offense,
possibly
Doug,
can to protect your family.
Similar views on Lindsay's main street, not far from where the incident happened.
I think you should be able to use a lot, like any force necessary to defend your home and your family.
The person should be able to, prevent the guy, because who knows what that perpetrator would have did to him.
Exactly.
Self-defense, personally. It kind of sucks a bit for him.
And again, that sentiment will largely change depending on the community, right? And again, this is what a lot of people don't understand. Ontario, right, federally, we fucking always swing the Liberal vote. Always. Every fucking federal election, usually the Liberals are in charge because of Ontario. It's an unfortunate truth. Provincially, completely the opposite, because we have a much larger conservative base here in Ontario than a lot of people think. The problem is so many fucking people live in Toronto and Ottawa, it doesn't fucking matter. 90% of that in a federal election doesn't fucking mean anything. In a provincial, fuck them, right? Doesn't matter because most of Ontario is still conservative. Largely depends, the sentiment that you hear largely depends on the location.
Self-defense, personally. It kind of sucks a bit for him.
But this is completely reasonable. Again, a lot of people think that way.
The charges is so strong that the local police chief issued a statement calling the reaction unjust and inaccurate. While homeowners do have the right to protect themselves and their property, says the chief, the use of force must be reasonable given the circumstances.
Likely the police believe there was...
No, I disagree. I absolutely disagree. I think if you enter someone's home with a deadly weapon, doesn't fucking matter your intention. You entered their home. You broke into their home with a deadly weapon. That person has every fucking right to take your life. I think you forfeit your life the second you decide to fuck around like that. That's what I think. And I think that just makes sense. And again, I think a lot of Americans would agree with that statement. And in Canada, what do you mean? Oh, you forfeit his life? What do you, that's radical. You mean he could die? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Why should I care? This person is clearly scum. What are we talking about here? Like, stop fucking giving all these fucking criminals sympathy. Like, why are we doing that? Like, do we want it to stop or not?
This must be reasonable given the circumstances.
Likely the police believe there was excessive force in the circumstances.
Excessive force?
This lawyer says Canada's legal
Don't break into my home.
puts limits on self-defense.
There has to be a defensive purpose to the actions. So it can't be for revenge or for believing this person deserves some sort of punishment or anything like that.
Police have...
Now listen, what happens in a man's home, because he doesn't have cameras in there, listen, if he swung on his kneecaps and broke them both... Now maybe there was a bit of revenge going on there, but still, let's be honest here. How much of that could be chalked up to quote-unquote revenge? Because at that point, you don't have cameras in your home. I don't have cameras in every fucking room in my house, you know what I mean? It's his word against mine. It's literally, the onus is to prove that I didn't fucking revenge hurt this guy and I did it in self-defense. The onus is on you as the fucking victim to prove that you didn't over-injure this guy. Do you know how insane that is? That's fucking craziness, dude.
Not said whether the two men know each other. The man who was living in the apartment has been released. He's to appear in court on the charges, but no date has been set. Adrian?
So, Mike, can you put some perspective on this for us and talk about other instances in Canada of homeowners facing charges in cases sort of like this one?
So many.
It has happened as recently as 2023. A man in Milton, just to the west of Toronto, he was charged with murder after he took a gun away from someone during a home invasion. But those charges were dropped about 6 months later. Crown prosecutors said there was no reasonable chance of conviction. And lawyers looking at that case said that it was a clear-cut situation of self-defense.
All right, Mike Crawley in Lindsay, Ontario tonight. Thank you.
So you heard a story about a little bit of justice there, but again, the only time that really happens is when cases like this reach fucking big popularity. Otherwise, again, like, you got no defense. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, and the fact that you're even being charged with it, that's a lot of fucking stress, man. I'm getting charged with murder for defending myself in my own damn home. Do you know how insane that is? Like, the fact that you're even getting charged, that you have to appear like that, is crazy. I wrestled a gun away from a home invader and shot him with his own firearm. I'm getting charged with murder? Like, fucking excuse me? The fact that that even went on for 6 months is a joke. Like, let's be real here. Anyway, third video, guys. Third video. I want to check out one more here. Global news. I can't live here anymore. Toronto victim of armed home invasion speaks out. This one came out 6 days ago. This one's pretty popular at the moment, I think. Awful circumstance, awful fucking incident that happened here. Let's watch. I want you guys to see for yourselves here.
Are you surprised that didn't deter them? Like, you did all the security, you had all the safety.
Yeah, but I realized that they don't care about this.
No, they don't, because they know nothing's going to happen to them.
Brought her 2 daughters to Canada from Iran 7 years ago. She bought a home near York Mills in Leslie, which she gutted and redesigned herself. But last Wednesday, her dream home became the scene of a traumatic home invasion, a real-life nightmare she won't soon forget.
I can't live here anymore.
It was 3:40 a.m. when 4 masked suspects got in through her back patio doors. They went upstairs and into her 12-year-old daughter's bedroom, where Alavina Sab was asleep next to her child on a mattress on the floor.
I remember that somebody, put the gun on my neck and asked me, where is the safe? 2 men came to my daughter's room. It was the scariest moment.
Alavina Sab says given English is not her first language, she was confused. She eventually understood and told them there was no safe. But not believing her, they took her into her closet, which had already been ransacked. Then down to the main floor and to the garage, looking for a safe. The chaos all captured on video surveillance.
But they couldn't believe me, and they keep hitting me with the gun and, hurt me and, asking me where is the safe.
After 6 minutes inside, the intruders suddenly left, making off with handbags, jewelry, and money. They did not take their Range Rover, despite the fact Alavina Sab says she offered them the keys. She then learned her 18-year-old daughter, who had been pretending to sleep, had called 911 while the thieves were downstairs.
She went to her bathroom and locked the door and called 911. But she said that she stays in the line nobody answered the phone.
For how long?
4 to 5 minutes, or maybe 3 to 4 minutes. I don't remember exactly.
So even in an instance where you do call 911, you stay on the line for 4 to 5 minutes. Now, again, I did security work, and there was a lot of times where I did have to call the police. And then in the town where I lived in, the average police response time, and this is one of the reasons we got hired to begin with, was 45, 50 minutes. So 45, 50 minutes that me, an unarmed security guard without a vest, I didn't get paid that much, but I was paid to stop this shit, right? In a sense. I have to wait 45, 50 minutes for an actual police response to fights, to break and enters, to drugs, to overdoses, right? Yeah, no, this is just a thing that has been happening in Canada forever. The response time is insane. And a large part of it, some people want to be cops nowadays, but many people like myself, why be a cop in Canada? You know what I mean? Even if you get the criminal, there's a large chance the court system just fucking fails you, fails the community anyway. That's what I saw a lot of. So it's like, why bother? You know what I mean? And unfortunately in this girl's case, right, like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? She had all the security systems. It looked like a very, respectfully, looked like a very nice house, right? Upper class house. Again, perfect house to go rob. Unfortunately, that's the truth. But again, even with the security systems in place, these criminals don't care. They literally don't give a shit because they know even with it, they're not going to get caught. If they get away, they're away. You know what I mean? If they took that car, they could have been maybe caught in that vehicle, but they made away on foot. No, nothing is going to happen to them. And the unfortunate part is too, and there is a video on YouTube too. There's another news report. Repeat crimes. They'll go back to the same house and re-rob you because they know how fucking easy it is. They already know where everything is. It's fucked. It's completely fucked. Let's keep watching.
For how long?
4 to 5 minutes or maybe 3 to 4 minutes. I don't remember exactly, but
she was on hold.
She was on hold. No
Yeah.
one picked
No
up the phone.
dispatcher, nothing.
Saab is also upset.
Diane was
that
probably
no one
busy.
from police has offered her family support, except for the day of the crime.
I moved here for a better life, for a safe life, and I don't feel safe anymore. And I was thinking that maybe somebody calls me and asks me, do you need anything? Do you have any place to go?
In a statement to Global News, Toronto police say the 911 caller was answered after being in the queue for exactly 2 minutes. Officers were immediately dispatched and arrived 5 minutes later. Police say victim services was offered, and investigators will be following up with the family to ensure they have the support they need.
So 2 minutes even.
Global News.
2 minutes on hold for a dispatcher, even. So let's assume that's correct. You know, they got the accurate time, and again, during a crime, it does feel a lot longer. Time slows down, for lack of a better word, right? When traumatic shit's happening, of course, so it could seem like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It's 2 minutes, but still, in 2 minutes, you know how much shit could happen in 2 minutes? You know, without even anyone on the line to hear what the fuck is going on, without police even being spooled to that house. Like, you understand, like, no, it's kind of it's not acceptable in a sense, you know what I mean? It's really not for a police force, for an emergency service of allegedly a first world nation. Come on now, this is not acceptable. This should not be acceptable, but and yet it is in a way. Fuck, and we haven't even gone off about the recent like string of like LCBO robberies. That's a whole other bag of worms.
To ensure they have the support they need. Catherine McDonald, Global News.
Yeah. So again, absolutely crazy incidences happening here in Canada. There's so many fucking home invasions happening. I just wanted to get that point across. In a sense, be glad that you live in America, that you do have the right to self-defense, that you can bear arms. Again, even if you do own a firearm here in Canada, legally speaking, right, that gun has to be locked in a safe. The ammo has to be locked in a separate compartment of that safe. And even the gun, once you get it out of that safe, should, in theory, have a trigger guard on it. So you have to go through 3 fucking layers of protection in the span of maybe 60 seconds, maybe, and that's fucking if the robbers are slow, if they aren't fucking, you know what I mean? If they're not fucking rushing you down to get a firearm and potentially defend yourself. Even in Canada, that's not good enough. You know what I mean? That's just simply not good enough. And then again, you take a baseball bat, you take any sort of weapon to somebody, and now you're looking at potential charges for self-defense, essentially, you know? Assault, murder, whatever have you. No, man, it's absolutely insanity, and I just wanted to bring attention to that problem here in Canada that we're kind of having right now. And if you guys want me to talk about the LCBO, that's the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. That place is getting robbed to fuck, and it's a taxpayer funded, I guess, enterprise, right? It's a company, right? But it's completely funded by the taxpayer. It's where all of our hard liquor comes from, essentially, right? So if you want to buy any whiskey, rum, anything hard liquor related, wine, whatever have you, usually go to the LCBO. Well, they're getting robbed pretty much daily now at this point. Millions of dollars are going out the door in fucking theft, and nothing's happening about it, right? It's one of those things where it's, again, crime is becoming the average here in Canada, at least here in Ontario, and maybe some of you in other provinces, if you're listening to this, can speak to your experience, maybe what you've seen in your province, right? But I know here in Ontario, it's absolutely fucking insane. But again, just wanted to make this video, bringing some awareness to that about a local Canadian issue for once, you know what I'm saying? But if you guys enjoyed, of course, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course, leave your recommendations down in the comments below. And without any further delay, big thank you to all of our members, of course, all of our Hastati, our Triarii, our Principe, Dagenhart, and of course, our prefix, Hobbit and Fear. I appreciate you guys. Without any further delay, this has been Centurion. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.